Okay, this is how you find an agent in EVE Online. First, you got to go to your peoples and places. Then you go to the Agents tab. Now this list isn't very helpful to you. This is pretty much every agent you've ever met or talked to there that you can use. But that's not super helpful. If you're looking to find an agent that will give you missions, that will allow you to create monies or just have fun, then click on the Agent Finder button here. And what it'll do is, after it loads up for a bit, it'll bring up a list of every agent in the game that you can then search through to find what you would like. So as you can see, I've been searching for anyone I can talk to that will offer me a level 4 quest. For those of you just starting, you'll be able to get level 1 quests, obviously. Now, it's obviously there are going to be a lot of agents that will be willing to talk to you when you first start. So it'd be useful to kind of go through here and pick which faction you'd like to be grinding rep with. You can even go into specific corporations of that faction. Most importantly, though, you can pick what type of missions you'd like, what agent type. Securities, you blow a lot of stuff up. Distribution, take a lot of packages around space. If you have a specific region or solar system you'd like to search in, namely the one you're in or one nearby, you can specify that as well. And for those of you just starting, you're going to want to specify that only high-sec agents are the ones that you want to talk about. Because you go into low-sec or null-sec and you're going to find some people that are waiting for you to take what you have after shooting you with lots of guns and or drones. So this is not really that important right now for your first level stuff. But aside from that, it's pretty easy. You can see here in the search results that it tells you exactly where these agents are and how far they are. I've sorted them by how close they are to me. You can scroll through. Something to keep in mind when looking for a new agent, the lower the security status of their system is, the better their missions will be on average. The better the loot, the more bounty you'll have. Just overall, you'll have better missions. And so, if you're not too picky about where you end up as far as mission running, the best thing you can do is look for the first 0.6 or 0.5 that comes up in the list, and hopefully, let's see, I see a lot of 0.6s, but I'm hoping to find a 0.5. So, the closest one to me is going to be about 6 jumps away, right here. Either this system or this system. Totally up to me. Now, if I was really going to be picky, what I could do is I could check out. How is it done? There we go. So if I was really picky, what I could do is I could look up where this system is, for instance, in the overall scheme of things. Great. Well, it's not working. But I'd type in the system name here, and then I would look it up. And based on where I found it in the system, whether it be close to a core world or not, would indicate the estimated health of the market. A healthier market is great when you're running missions because as you pull in loot and as you salvage ships, the prices are better in regions with much healthier markets. There will be a much higher demand for what you have to offer. And so instead of getting 30 to 40K on some of the smaller things, you can get up to maybe even 100K. And some of the stuff that goes for 500,000 could go over $1 million. It's all about location. And so proximity to yourself is important when picking an agent, just for convenience sake, in case you've got stuff where you are now that you want to stay close to. But it's also important to make sure that you position yourself well regarding some of the stronger markets out there, like Dodixie or Jita. It's really important that you spend your time wisely in EVE. I mean, it's not a necessary component of having fun and enjoying the game, but it's important if you want to go far and fly some of the bigger ships and get some of the bigger guns, that you make sure that you spend your time wisely. You can spend 3 years trying to get to where you could get to in a few months if you just think about it smart. And so that's kind of an intro to mission running. Something else I could talk about is levels. As I said, you'll start at level 1 or level 2 if you're lucky with most corporations and most factions, because that's the way standing works. The way you get up to higher levels of mission running is you do quests and missions for a specific corporation just repeatedly. Every time you complete a quest, you'll get standing, and as your standing goes up, you'll unlock higher level agents in that specific corporation. As you level up social skills, you have the opportunity to kind of bleed that influence across multiple corporations and even entire races to kind of make it easier to transition from one corporation to the other once you've ground up. For instance, I've only got one corporation that was willing to offer me level 4 missions right now, and it's a corporation called the Ministry of Internal Order for Amarr. That's the only corporation I can do level 4 missions for right now. I plan on leveling up some of my social stuff so I can broaden my horizons a little bit, move around space, and find some new locations to do some missions as well. Other than that, it's really just be safe and don't go in too balls deep without a ship that can take some punishment. A really important aspect of doing any kind of security mission where there's a lot of fighting involved is to research the mission itself, and if it's not mentioned directly in the mission text, every mission has a certain pirate faction that you go up against, be it drones or Sanchas or Angel Cartel or Guristas, something like that. And every faction has a specific subset of primary damage types they deal, and because of that, it's really easy. Generally, because of that, it's really easy to tank your spaceship so that you are specifically resistant to those damage types. It'll allow you to go in and really take tremendous punishment with something like 80 to 90% resistances to all their damage, and it allows you to go in and kind of solo missions that would otherwise be frankly impossible without a much bigger and better ship than you're currently in. As a level 1 mission runner, you can do a lot of what you do in frigates, or even if you want to, you can upgrade to cruisers. If you have the right resistances, those missions should be very simple, all the way up through level 3. And up to level 3, you can even get into some battle cruisers, but you're really not going to be tested too hard if you're tanking damage resistances the way you should. As well, another facet of knowing the faction of your mission enemies is that they will be weak to specific damage types as well. For the most part, factions are weak to the damages they use. So, for instance, if a faction uses kinetic and thermal damage, generally that faction will be weak to kinetic and thermal damage. And so if you're using something like a Caldari ship that uses lots of missiles where you can specifically indicate which damage type you want, or you're using specific drones for their damage types, then you can maximize the ability to run missions by tanking the damage types they use and using the damage types that will do the most to them. And that way you'll kill them the quickest and complete your mission the fastest. And you get the biggest return on, you get the biggest turnaround speed on collecting all that bounty and collecting that mission reward. So, I could go on and on. The game is brilliantly deep in that way, but I think I'll cut it off here. If you have any questions, please let me know in comments or send me a message. I'll be happy to answer. Thanks.